Howdy, 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 and welcome back to the Gardener. Today is Monday, May 25th, 2020, and this is going to be the garden tour for May. Alright, let's get going. Alright, as tradition for me, we go underneath the grapevine, which I did not trim at all, which is on one of those projects that I should really get to, but life, happens. Reason why you'd want to is when you trim it, you get more consistent fruit sets, because there'll be a ton, and if there's not enough water, then the grapes aren't going to survive. So that's one of those things that you should do. Then up here on the left, in this bed here, is sunchokes. I ordered them from Hudson Valley Seed Bank. They're supposed to be, like, you eat the tubers, and these stalks are going to get, like, ginormously high. Like, 8-10 feet, some craziness like that. They'll probably blow over. I may need to put some stuff there. Then over here, garlic that's been over seasoned. And then we have my little bed over here, which is gonna have some peas here that's getting munched on by the critters. I believe that's like a chard that came back. And there in the center is a chard from last year. So that's going to start bolting. Beets, turnips. And then we also have my friend here. His name is Fred the Toad. He's my little garden buddy. Almost stepped on him already. He likes to live over in this section. Then over here in this bed, we got the celery that kind of is coming back from last year. We'll see how that does. I put some carrots there that might start popping. 2 tomatoes in those corners that I got from the store. And we're just going to scooch up this way now. Over here in this bed, I did a little bit of work here, because back there it was just flat. So I just put in some theirs in the post there, just to kind of make it more into like the actual bed. And then we just got a whole bunch of onions here for the onion set. Up here, I widened this bed this past year. Where the garlic is here, that's kind of how the bed was, if you remember, if you've seen it at all. I put some potatoes in here on this side. Then up here, we got more tomatoes, a volunteer squash, yellow and green squash zucchinis. Up this way, we have this bed here where the squash was. It's kind of like a layered compost, because underneath was the bed. I put a bunch of scraps, and I put some of my sifted wood mulch compost off from my past there, and then I topped that off with the bed that was here that had some decent compost. I put some flower tubers down there. Hopefully they'll pop. Then up in the front here, this is like the flower bed. Put some more of the tubery daylilies in the back. They haven't popped, but these are the flowers. I have to remember what they are. Then I got a couple there, some dusty millers, and then that bunch back here is garlic. I missed a couple of clumps last year, and I'm just kind of like letting it go. Up here in this area, more garlic. That plant there is irises. Then we got 2 more squash here. The Shastas, some chives. We also got the blueberries there going. I still need to do something with this hill. But yeah. Another change in the garden is I took out the H and I actually put up these pavers, making a raised bed. And I put some pavers here. I still need to put some fill of stone there so I can get to the shed area. I found that it was kind of annoying to have to go around here, have a mostly straight path. This is definitely not straight, so it's a slightly unique shape. But in here I have more onions. I have some beets from starts, some spinach right there around the middle. Those are radishes right along here. And then you can kind of see in 2 little rows there and there are some carrots. And then over here, I have some spring onions that were like little modules that I did, and these I direct sowed. You can see those are a little bit thicker. Then over here, we have the garlic from overwintering. Right in the front here, I think that's lavender. Yeah, that's lavender there. I have 2 bush beans there. And then here I have jalapeno peppers. 2 jalapeno peppers, and then 2 sweet yellowy ones I can't remember their name of. Then back here is straight 8 cucumbers, and I just put a seed row of radishes there. Alright, right back into this area here, the fenced off garden. I do have some stuff in here, but unfortunately the little tiny bunnies are able to get through these the fencing, so I need to get some like critter fencing and put it down along here. I went to the store, but they were all sold out because everyone's doing the gardening now. You know, pandemic and all that, staying at home, whatever. That's cool, good for them, but yeah, kind of annoying. Right over here, you can see those were overwintered carrots that, again, because the bunnies got in, they munched on them. Turnips there that are going to seed. I had a little cabbage back there, but again, the bunny could get in and ate it. They also ate all my spinach, which is kind of annoying. And then, yeah, right here, lettuces. These were actually gorgeous. If you saw on my Facebook post, you could see they were much better. I still have to go in here and do weeding, because I added a bunch of mulch from my garden paths, sifted it out, and used that in majority of my beds this year, and I didn't realize how weedy it was. So you can see, like, in this bed, which I did a decent amount of weeding, a lot of it is couch grass, crabgrass, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to be a fight now for the end of time, because I mistakenly added weedy compost. So don't do that. I mean, I'm sure it's great for the soil with all the organic matter that I put in, but it's definitely going to give myself a whole lot more work now that they're in there. I may have to do the tarp kill-off method, or I may just have to figure something out. Might be just do like heavy mulches on these beds, because even through the compost mulch here, the weeds are still coming up, but I don't have enough weed-free compost to go around. I may have to, you know, buy some, which is, you know, here and there. Alright, we're gonna head up toward like the trial bed type things, and then we'll hit these guys real quick. So we got the dig and the no dig. This again here, the no dig, I use the wood mulch compost, which is super weedy, which is gonna suck. I have just some flowers here and there, and then I have 2 onions each in the back, and I had cabbage and broccoli, but bunnies or groundhog got them. Over here in this area, there's not a lot going on. It's also very weedy. I got some chard in the front. Then back there is some mustard and a bunch of weeds. So it's just a, you know, work in progress type of thing. Then up here in the containers, not a lot going on. Again, weeds. Mustards. This is like salad bowl greens, and then I have rocket here. The bunnies and things do come up here, so I'll have to try to keep an eye on them. Got some starts that I picked up from my local greenhouse. Then up here I have some other things going. So these are some tomatoes from seed. These are ground cherries. This is celery. I started super late. Back here is these guys here. They are, come on, I can think of them, flowers. Snapdragons, there we go. Rembrandt Snapdragons. I think these are zinnias. I have a bowl of lettuce. Then I also have some cat grass here and here. And then this is garlic seed. So they're like the tops off the garlic from last year. I planted them in here. They are growing, and I think you can kind of see underneath there they're starting to root toward the bottom. So I may start taking these in clumps and sticking them in the ground. And then I hope to propagate these. I think they're going to take like 3 years to get to like food size garlic. I think you might be able to, you know, eat the tops as like a garlic grass type thing, kind of like escape. So that's pretty neat. I'm gonna try with these guys, see how they turn out. And then here, I'm actually doing corn. So I put the seeds in just yesterday, so they're not sprouting. But my idea is let them start here, make sure that they're good, and then I'm going to move them out to where the squash was in the front where I had the corn last year. I may have to add some more compost and stuff because corn is a heavy feeder and they were there last year. And I did add a lot of the sifted compost that I put there. So we will see. But yeah, real quick, you can see here I've actually put grass down. This was all mulch the past couple of years, which kind of helped smother a lot of the weeds. And I'm also just putting some grass over here, mainly just because I just kind of don't have the time and energy to just keep remulching this huge area. I'm thinking I'll probably continue mulching along the back just to make life easier and mulching between these beds. But basically what I've been doing is I've been going through taking up the layers of compost and wood chips. Like I don't know if you can see the difference in height here. But yeah, so that's a good couple of inches of just wood chips that been accumulated. Like I found, like yeah, you can see this tape coming up. So that's where I had the original layer of cardboard because there's some of them had tape on them, and then wood chips on top. So it's been a good couple of inches that have been added to the soil level. But again, basically I've just kind of sifted it out. Like you can see here is a pile of the wood chips and weeds and things from the sifting this area. And then I used that to top off those beds, make the expansion on here. I topped off this bed of the onions. I also added a whole bunch into the far bed there. And when I did here, I also pulled up the mulch here. And I actually just threw that straight into the beds when I was initially starting to put the frames up. So I added a lot of weeds. So, you know, kind of don't do that or do that and be prepared to do a lot of weeding. This bed was mostly done at the end of last season. I finished it up a couple weeks ago. And then this one was done. And then this one here is the one that got recently done. So you'll see here, the soil isn't as high because I didn't add as much compost and it's a wider area. And this one, when I put them in there, I did sift the soil to try to get rid of a lot of the stones. And I put the stones along here and around. I'm thinking I might get more decorative stone to fill this in. I didn't really put any weed barriers down, but I put enough stone down it should make it not as weedy in theory. There's, you know, other things you can pour the vinegar and stuff that, you know, will kill the weeds supposedly. I don't particularly want to do any herbicides because I don't think it would get to my vegetables, but I just don't really want it there. You know, just kind of keep things healthy. But yeah. Yep. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for watching. This is the Garden Nerd signing off. Take care of yourselves and all that fun stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.